control of poultry diseases. Presently, he is engaged in teaching, research, and implementation of poultry health management programs. And recently, he has been awarded as Zoetis Young Poultry Vet Award by World Veterinary Poultry Association. He is one of the editors in Avian Pathology Review in BMC Veterinary Research. He has published more than 40 research papers in national and international journals. So Dr. V. Gautaman, we welcome you to our webinar. Our internal speaker is Dr. Shekhar Basak, who is MD Innovista Feeding Solutions. So now I would like to invite our main speaker, Dr. V. Gautaman, to please start his presentation.
Do you need some help, doctor?
Yeah, I don't know. I started sharing, but it's not coming.
1 second.
No, sir, you have to just close the stop share and then
Stop share and then you can start again.
Okay.
just open the PPT first and then share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the introduction. Good evening to all. Now I am going to speak use of traditional herbs in poultry production in the era of changing consumer choice. It's a really important topic, especially after the COVID pandemics. People are much aware about the pathogens as well as the food they want to eat. They're more aware about what kind of food they want to eat, and they want to know how it is produced. So just I am going to talk about, cover about the two important traditional phytobiotics, mainly turmeric and garlic, and its beneficial effect on poultry production. As we know, as we are aware that the poultry plays an important role in food security and nutritional security of the livelihoods, and as a effect of globalization, the population in Indian cities are rising, and people are migrating towards the cities for better jobs and better income, which totally changed their food habits. The demand for non-vegetarian food is steadily increasing, and among the different non-vegetarian food, chicken, meat, and eggs are the primary choice of the most of the consumers, which resulted in a rapid expansion of the poultry industry. The newly added poultry population is added with already the existing major poultry pockets. So because of that, it increases the poultry population density, and which increases the challenges in terms of disease management, nutrition, and also environmental issues, which lead to use of many drugs and vaccines, and especially the antimicrobial components. At the meantime, parallelly, the consumer trends also parallelly changing. The consumer are more aware about the food they are eating, and they want to know how it is produced. And for example, the free range, organic, antibiotic free, These are all the common terms which is come from the consumer's mouth nowadays. These are all the two photos which I took when I visited UK last year, in which the free range or organic chicken and egg, which cost even 2 to 3 times more than that of the chicken and eggs which are produced the conventional way. If you take an Indian scenario, the demand for the backyard chicken or country chicken meat is steadily increasing, which results in emergence of many integrated companies which integrate with the country chicken in southern parts of India. Even some of the companies like Nandu's or Congo Herbal Chicken, they have come up with their unique products to meet out the consumer demands. They rear the chicken without use of any antibiotic, and they use more herbals in their feed, and thereby they come across the hurdles of the pathogens, and also they come across other hurdles. So how to meet out this kind of issues, like to meet out the consumer demand by overcoming the challenges associated with the rapid poultry population expansion? The only way is that the use of our indigenous herbs and spices, which have been traditionally used, and they known for their antimicrobial effect, so that we can reduce the use of antimicrobials in the poultry protection, and thereby we can bring down the antimicrobial resistance. Also, we can satisfy the consumers. So, species and herbs are the important part of human diet and used for centuries in the traditional folk medicine. In addition to their boosting flavor, they are known for their preservative, antioxidative, and antimicrobial properties. These properties have been beneficially exploited in the veterinary medicine to improve the health and well-being of the animals. And among the different herbs, garlic and turmeric are most commonly used in poultry protection because of their availability and the potential benefits in the poultry industry. Garlic is one of the earliest plant ever cultivated and known for thousands of years in folk medicine, and have been used traditionally for all ages to treat the wide array of diseases. This is a recent paper which is published in Antioxidants, which is one of the leading journal in Europe. So it describes about the beneficial effect of the medical effect of garlic on human beings. Garlic is well known for its anti-cancer effect. It reduces the DNA adduct formation, and it is a potent antioxidant, thereby scavenging the free radical, and also it plays an important role in controlling the intermediate pathway of cancer. Thereby it reduces the risk of cancer, and also it is a good anti-inflammatory agent. It reduces the interleukin 6 and TNF alpha, which is a important pro-inflammatory, and also it improves the gut microbial profile. Thereby it soothes the effect of inflammation. And other known important beneficial effect is it is known for its hypoglycemic and hypolipemic effect. Previous research shows that garlic helps to reduce the blood glucose level and reduces the cholesterol level, especially the low density lipoprotein triglyceride level, and it also increases the level of high density lipoprotein, that is the beneficial cholesterol. Thereby it reduces the blood pressure, and also it helps our body to control the cardiovascular diseases. And also garlic helps to cure a variety of bone diseases. This is a recent paper which is published in American Society of American Chemical Society, which claims proved that the strongest anti-coronavirus activity of garlic. So it has given a positive clue that it can be exploited for to fight against deadly viruses like COVID. Hopefully, we can get a solution in near future. Coming to garlic use in poultry production, garlic is commonly used in poultry feed, and with the dose ranges from 5 kg to 20 kg or sometimes 30 kg for treatment and prevention. Usually the prevention dose is around 5 kg, and the treatment sometimes we go up to 30 kg for 3 to 5 days. it improves the feed intake and digestion by 3 ways. First, it improves the feed intake. It helps to enhance the digestion, and thereby it improves the better nutrient utilization, digestion, utilization. Thereby it improves the FCR. First, it improves the flavor and appetite. Thereby, naturally, the palatability of the feed increases, and the voluntary feed intake also parallelly increases. So once the garlic added feed get into the mouth cavity, it stimulates the salivary flow rate and gastric secretion, enzyme secretion. Apart from this, it also enhances the activity of pancreatic enzymes. So in total, it improves the digestive capacity of the bird. And apart from that, garlic is rich in prebiotic component, mainly the inulin and its hydrolysate, which helps to colonization of potential probiotic microbes. So thereby it improves the villus morphology, villus length, and also the crypt ratio. So when the villus length and crypt depth ratio increases, naturally the nutrient absorption surface increases. Thereby the bird get improved digestibility and improved absorption capacity, so that the better nutrient utilization also being exploited by the garlic, and thereby birds are getting better growth, better FCR, and reduced mortality. Other important beneficial effect of garlic is that it helps to reduce the cholesterol content in carcass, in the broiler carcass. Mainly, the broiler fed with garlic had significant reduction in serum liver, skin, and cholesterol content, and also there is significant reduction in triglycerides and low density lipoprotein, and also increased the good cholesterol, that is high density lipoprotein levels. So this property can be potentially exploited by feeding the garlic to the chicken. And garlic also improves the packet cell volume, hemoglobin, and red blood cells. Thereby, the oxygen carrying capacity of the cells naturally increases, and parallelly, it also reduces the platelet aggregation. Thereby, the blood flow improves, and the organs get better availability of nutrients. Thereby, they improve productivity and better welfare. The other important property of garlic is it is rich in a component called allicin, which is known for its antimicrobial properties against various kind of bacteria, viruses, and fungi. So it is acting as a natural antiseptic, and also it has got a very good bactericidal effect against the pathogenic microbes in gastrointestinal tract. Apart from its antimicrobial properties, the previous research proved that garlic has also got anti-helminthic action in vitro against the common intestinal parasite, common roundworms, mainly the Heterogis gallinae and Ascardia galli, which commonly infect the chicken and causes substantial economic loss to the industry. And also garlic is a very good modulatory agent. It increases the relative weights of spleen and thymus, and also it increases the lymphocyte proliferation rate, and also increases the WBC count, and also it results in improved cytokine release, lead to better phagocytosis, better NK cell activity, and thereby the birds can fight better against the invading pathogens. And another research also proved that the garlic supplemented chicken had a better antibody titer against Newcastle disease. So in total, so it is a very good antimicrobial agent in itself, and also it stimulates the innate immune system, and also it improves the immunity. Thereby, it helps the chicken to fight against microbial infection. Other important property of garlic is that it is potential beneficial effect on the broiler carcasses. So supplementation of 1 to 3% garlic powder has considerable influence on the carcass yield, and also it decreases the abdominal fat, and also the fatty acid composition, and also it improves the oxidative stability of the chicken meat. Once the oxidative stability of the chicken meat improved, naturally the keeping quality of the chicken carcass is prolonged, and also it improves the color and sensory properties of the meat. So Holistically, it improves the carcass trait of the broiler chicken. Then apart from improving carcass quality, it also has got potential influence on the egg quality. So garlic supplementation increases the egg protection, increases the egg weight and egg mass, and also it increases the yolk weight and hog unit. Yeah, there's decline in abdominal albumin deterioration rate. So once the albumin deterioration rate is declined, the keeping quality of the eggs are naturally prolonged, and also the increased antioxidant status also absorbed in the birds fed with garlic. The other important
what do you think?
Other important component other than garlic is turmeric, which is also parallelly known for its potential beneficial effect, and it's commonly used as a cooking ingredient. Turmeric is a tropical plant which is a native of southern and southeastern part of tropical Asia, and it contains an important component called curcumin, which is widely used in Western world as a medicinal component. And this curcuminoids has got wide spectrum of antimicrobial activities against a variety of pathogens, including bacteria, virus, fungus, and protozoa. And it is also a potent anti-inflammatory agent and potent anti-cancerous agent. And it is, apart from its antimicrobial properties, it is known for its action against many systemic disorders, mainly its action on liver obstruction, jaundice, stomach disorders, ulcers, dysentery, diabetes, inflammation also well proved. And in Indian countryside, it is commonly used to treat the wounds and viral infections, mainly chickenpox and smallpox. Because of its non-toxic and non-toxic nature and its natural antibiotic and ideal food additive, it is commonly used in poultry feed. It has got very good antioxidative effect, anti-inflammatory effect, antimicrobial effect, and anti-cancer property, so that it can be used as a cost effectively and help proved to act against a variety of disease conditions in chicken. Garlic is a very good component to restore the gut health. Turmeric is the very good component to help to restore the impaired gut health of the chicken. It stimulates the production of digestive enzymes, and it increases the villus length and villus crypt depth ratio and villus morphology. Thereby, it increases the digestion and absorption, and it also causes hyperplasia of bile duct muscles. Thereby, it improves bile protection and bile release, leading to enhanced fatty acid release and fat digestion, and other nutrient metabolism. Apart from this, it causes thinning of the intestinal walls. It increases the turnover of the intestinal intestinal enterocytes. So this activity leads to diverts the net energy which is used for maintenance of the gastrointestinal cells, and which in turn diverted towards the productive purposes. The other important effect of garlic is that it inhibits the pathogenic bacteria, thereby it reduces the bacterial load, bad bacterial load, and it reduces the intestinal pH, and also it improves the probiotic, mainly selectively improves the lactobacillus count. And the lactobacillus is known for its potential probiotic effect in the gastrointestinal system, and thereby it restores the gut health holistically. Other important use of garlic is that it is action against the necrotic enteritis and gangrenous dermatitis, which are the two important diseases which is commonly reported throughout India, and it become nuisance sometimes, mainly the rainy and winter seasons. So we practically tried garlic and turmeric against clostridial diseases, and we have got very success against treating the diseases. The previous research also proved that supplementation of garlic and capsicum, turmeric and capsicum oleoresins reduced the serum alpha toxin level. Alpha toxin is the important toxin which is produced by the Clostridium perfringens. It acts on the intestinal cells, causes necrosis and sloughing. It also reduces the many intermediary metabolites which is involved in the pathobiology of the clostridium infection, and it improved the chemokine and cytokine levels in the splenocytes, which helps to fight against the clostridial diseases, and it improved the protective immunity against the clostridial diseases, and thereby ultimately it improved the body weight and reduces the gut lesion scores of caused by Clostridium perfringens. Other important property of turmeric is that it is hypocholestemic effect. Turmeric regulates the enzyme activities related to the fat metabolism. Thereby, it stimulates the conversion of the cholesterol to bile acid, and ultimately eliminate the cholesterol from the body, and reduces the incidence of fatty liver, as well as reduces the blood cholesterol, especially the LDL cholesterol. Heat stress, almost all farmers encountered throughout India, and despite of pumping huge volume of water and use of electrolytes, still the birds are dying. The use of garlic components proved that it can alleviate the ameliorate the effect of heat stress. So it reduces the dehydrogenase enzyme activity, improves the antioxidant status of the body, and thereby it improves the liver function. So once the liver function improved, naturally the fat deposition also comes down, and also the heat stress also comes down. Thereby we can protect the bird against the heat stress. And other important thing is that cold stress we come across in winter months, and we get ascites syndrome. So garlic helps to reduce the ascites syndrome by improving the blood oxygen saturation level, and improving the bicarbonate concentration. Thereby it alleviates the adverse effect of the cold stress. Garlic is a potent turmeric is a potent immunomodulatory component like garlic. It modulate the gene expression system of the toll-like receptors, which is an innate receptors which can stimulate the signal pathways when they encounter the pathogen. And also it improves the spleen weight index and increases the WBC content, and ultimately it improves the immunity. And previous research proved that turmeric has supplementation of turmeric at the level of 3% reduces the coccidial score as well as a better FCR. So it can be exploited against coccidiosis. Other experimental result shows that garlic reduces the expression of interleukin-6 and cytochrome enzymes, expression of cytochrome genes in the aflatoxin-fed diet. Thereby it helps to protection against the toxic effect of aflatoxin on the liver and kidney. And turmeric has got a wide range of beneficial effect on its chicken carcass quality. It improves the dressing percentage of the broiler carcass, it increases the breast and thigh muscle weight ratio, enhance the antioxidant capacity of the carcass. Thereby it prolongs the keeping quality of the carcass. It decreases the drip loss in breast and thigh muscle. It is also an important keeping quality parameter. And also, as I said earlier, it reduces the abdominal fat content. It improved the relative weight of liver, and it also caused a slight yellow pigmentation to the carcass. I think Dr. Sagar Basak is going to show the broiler carcass which is fed with his turmeric. So it really, it is giving yellowish tint to the carcass. Coming to the egg quality, garlic helps to improve the feed to egg conversion ratio, and also it acts on the tunica media of the uterus, which is the important site of calcium deposition, and thereby helps to enhance the egg quality and egg shape index, and also better egg mass and increased yolk color, and totally it improves the production performance also. So overall, coming to conclusion, garlic and turmeric can be used as an alternative to antibiotic because of its wide safety of margin, and it's also a natural component, and it has got very good potential activities to promote the growth and production of the chicken, and it also proved to efficiently reduce the incidence of effect of clostridial diseases, mainly the gangrenous dermatitis, and it also enhanced the chicken meat and egg quality, and also it enhances the production by preserving the gut health, enhancing the gut health, and improving the digestion and digestion, absorption, and utilization of the nutrients. So thank you very much. So if you have any questions, I will answer in the question and answer session. So I thanks Dr. Sagar Basak and Dr. Sweta Su and also Vetina for inviting me to this webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Gauthaman. Thank you so much. So, dear all participants, you are requested to put up your questions in question and answer box, and we will take up after the end of this session. So now I would like to invite Dr. Shekhar to please share his presentation.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Gauthaman. That was a splendid presentation giving a broad view on turmeric and garlic. In fact, I'll just take you forward on what Dr. Gauthaman just said, giving more information on these two ingredients and how they help us in our livestock production. So first of all, a quick view on Innovista. Innovista, we have a focus on customer care with high value of innovation. And first of all, I should also thank the delegates who have joined us from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and I also see some delegates from Thailand. So thank you all for joining us for this webinar. I'm Dr. Shekhar Basak, and I represent Innovista Feeding Solutions Private. So a little bit on introduction on the company Innovista. Innovista is as the name suggests, it is an innovative specialty feed additive company based out of New Delhi. We have our offices in Calcutta, Delhi, and Hyderabad. We are pioneers in novel feed additive concepts of world-class quality at affordable prices. That's what we consider is our strength in the natural product space. Innovista is an ISO 9001:2015 certified company. Our partner manufacturing facilities are GMP Plus and FAMIQS certified. Innovista has built its position as a supplier of choice by exercising tremendous discipline in its product strategies, applying long-term vision, and abiding by ethical principles such as ensuring total transparency towards our clients in all our business associations. We at Innovista strive every day to ensure that our specialty feed supplements live fully to the expectations of our esteemed customers. So a preview on the current usage of livestock feed additives. We will talk about the existing feed additive trends and the changing trends. We'll also talk about the antibiotic alternatives in an evolving regulatory and consumer landscape. Innovation is a solution, and if you don't differentiate, then you see the end of the road. So talking of the feed additive trends, I mean, we are all aware today, in feed antibiotics gradually being removed across majority developed countries worldwide. And there are alternatives like prebiotics and probiotics, organic acids, functional fibers, NSPs, enzymes, copper, phytogenics, and essential oils that are being tried with success. These mostly act by providing hostile environment for the pathogens, leading to the competitive exclusion. So most of these are actually trying to exclude the harmful bacteria. And essential oils are making a very strong entry in the world market. Some of these essential oils have established antimicrobial action, like some of them are thymol, carvacrol, and eugenol, and some go beyond that by boosting the immunity or stimulating the digestive system. Talking of the essential oils, they have an antimicrobial activity. and which has been contributed to the presence of phenolic compounds. And like thyme has got thymol as the phenolic compound, clove, eugenol, and oreganocarbicarol. Here is one study which says that the zone of inhibition, when we take that in terms of the diameter or in terms of millimeter, you'll see that thymol, carbicarol, eugenol, and menthol has got very good zone of inhibition for the most pathogenic bacteria like E. coli, Staph aureus, Pseudomonas, and Klebsiella. So in most of these cases, you'll see that they have a very good zone of inhibition. Like say for thymol, it works well in E. coli. In all the four cases, carbicarol has got also promising reports, eugenol and also menthol. And when they're compared with antibiotics like furantoidine or kanamycin or vancomycin, so you'll see that most of these essential oils have got very promising results in improving in increasing the zone of inhibition. And if you look at the MICs, thymol, carbicarol, eugenol, and menthol also have got very promising MICs, which are comparable to some of those potentially used therapeutic antibiotics. I mean, what we are naming here, the antibiotics which are used for therapy. So it could be very promising when we say that, essential oils can replace some of these antibiotics. So talking of the essential oils, they have an inhibitory effect, which is explained by the interaction with the cell membranes for the microorganisms and is correlated with the hydrophobicity of the compounds. For instance, oregano essential oil was reported to induce permeability alterations in the microorganisms' membranes, like Pseudomonas aeruginosa or Staph aureus, with a consequent leakage of protons, phosphates, and potassium, which means that they create an environment in the cell for which the cell does not survive, and it gets excluded from the system. So that is how, and typically this is how the antibiotics work. I mean, you can actually compare with the action of an antibiotic when you're talking about essential oils. So this again depends upon the location of the hydroxyl group, and as many of hydroxyl groups you have in carbicarol, menthol, or eugenol, and their particular placement of the hydroxyl groups, that determines the antimicrobial activity of the essential oils. We come to, as Dr. Gautaman has explained very nicely on the usage of turmeric and garlic, which is not new when it comes to the Indian context, because for ages, as a traditional knowledge goes, we have been using herbals like turmeric and garlic in a very regular basis in human beings. So what we are talking of with Curcumol is that we have just made some changes in the dosage form, or we have just made changes in the application of the product. So Curcumol is a purified turmeric oil fortified with curcuminoids and sesquiterpenes, and curcuminoids are plant alkaloids derived from the turmeric that impart the orange hue to the herb and also offers a range of medicinal properties to the turmeric plant. Now again, you can see here we commonly use the word curcuminoid, and we also call it as curcumin. I mean, there definitely has to be a difference between these two words. I mean, what is a curcumin? What is a curcuminoid? So curcuminoids are the phenolic compounds which are present in turmeric. So along with curcuminoids, there are in this particular curcuminoid family, there are three compounds. One is curcumin, one is dimethoxycurcumin, the other one is bis-dimethoxycurcumin. So there is a difference. What we take into consideration is curcumin. So bis-dimethoxycurcumin and bis-DMC, these are three different compounds of the family curcuminoids. Here we are talking of the flowchart of the production of curcumin or curcumol. So basically, curcumol is produced from the turmeric rhizomes. There is a solvent extraction process that turmeric rhizomes is subjected to, from which you get the oleoresin, you crystallize it, and crystallization actually leads to the purification of the product. And then what you're getting is the curcuminoids, And within this curcuminoid, you have this curcumin, dimethoxycurcumin, and bis-dimethoxycurcumin. And then the mother liquor, and then goes through further purification, which is the fractional distillation, what we call it. And finally, what you get is the curcumol, which is the turmeric oil. And this is a purified product. This is a solvent extracted and fractionally distillated product. So there is a difference. I mean, we'll talk about all that in the further slides. So why curcumol in livestock rations? Because we know from our traditional knowledge, as I said, that turmeric is a very good antibacterial antiseptic. It is a good antiviral. It is a good anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antiprotozoal. I'll come one by one on this. I mean, just if I have to tell you in the form of a story, let's say in our olden days, we know that whenever we have a wound on ourself, on the skin, we apply a topical, paste of turmeric. What does that mean? That turmeric is a very good antiseptic. When you're using turmeric, it heals the wound. So you know that from your past experiences, from the traditional knowledge, you know very well that turmeric is a good antiseptic. I mean, nothing new in that front, right? It is a good antiviral. It is a good anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. I'll give you another very small example about antioxidant activity of effect of turmeric. When you store a product like Curcumol for 3 months, you check the peroxide values after 3 months, no change. What does that mean? The inherent quality of turmeric being an antioxidant allows the peroxide values not to increase, which means that turmeric is a very good antioxidant in itself. So the turmeric oil is a pure turmeric oil, no adulteration. Again, I mean, had there been any adulteration, the PV values would have gone up. So Curcumol is a pure product. It is an antiprotozoal. I mean, even in the audience that we have here, some would have experienced that when you use a product like Curcumol, the chances of coccidiosis actually goes down. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the audience from here would nod their heads when I say this. Pathology. I mean, we are talking of the epithelial lining of the GI tract is continuously subjected to pathogens like Chlamydia and Clostridium, which also Dr. Gautaman mentioned in his lecture, and which causes damage to the villi, to the gut wall. And the damaged intestines becomes inefficient to absorb nutrients, and then you have this kind of bad, feces that you see in this picture. So this leads to depletion of your profits and the economic drainage that you see along with such poor performances. Again, let me explain you the mode of action in a very simple form. What we are doing with Curcumol, we are forming a coating in the intestines. As you see from this picture here, you see a coating of the GI tract with Curcumol. And again, as I said, the antiseptic and the antibiotic property is mainly because whenever there is a erosion of the intestines, the epithelial cell lining it gets eroded, and because of that, you have necrotic enteritis. You have the oocyst, which basically causes a damage to the gut. So, which means that you, in a very common language, you have a wound which forms in the intestines. So what does Curcumol do? Curcumol primarily heals the wound. So with the continuous coating that you see there, it heals the wound, and that's why it helps in maintaining the gut integrity. Antiprotozoal activity, so I won't say it is going to prevent a coccidiosis, but it definitely helps in a synergistic way when you're using an anticoccidial there. And with the use of Curcumol, you definitely reduce your chances of coccidiosis there. Then the antioxidant activity, I gave you the example of store Curcumol for 3 months, check the PV, doesn't change. So antioxidant. Anti-inflammatory activity, which basically means that, which also was presented by Dr. Gautaman, that it helps in the improving the villi structure and the villi length, and then it also helps in preventing enteritis. So again, I mean, this is one thing which a lot of, it appeals to many feed millers, that Curcumol also gives a color. We say that, like Tata used to say, because when you talk of Tata, Ratan Tata is also always known for, Jamshed by Tata is known for, people always think that they make steel, but at one point in time, Tata had to say, we also make steel, which means that we have 1,000 more products, buddy. Steel is just one of them. So we are trying to say that we also give color. So color is not the primary advantage of using a curcumol. I mean, a lot of people have there are other companies, competitors who have picked up on this point that, color. But then we say that curcumol also gives color. We are promoting, or we are basically trying to make you convinced, or trying to make you accept the fact that turmeric has got its inherent medicinal properties. So we are trying to promote you turmeric as a non-antibiotic group promoter, but it also happens to give you color. So there is a remarkable difference in the color when you're using curcumol compared to a, non-turmeric feed or turmeric powder. You have an advantage of energy also with curcumol. It gives an energy of 8987.4 kilocalories per kg, which means that when you're adding curcumol to feed in the range of 0.5 to 1% of curcumol in feed, 0.5 to 1 kilo per ton of feed, which means that when you're adding curcumol, then you also have to replace your oil. So that reduces the cost primarily. And it has got a fatty acid profile, which is more or less similar to any of the oils. Closer to I would say a soya oil. These are the quality parameters for curcumol. It has an acid value of 3 milligrams of potassium hydroxide per gram of oil. So basically, if I have to go back to my classroom days, acid value is basically the milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize fatty acid in 1 gram of oil or fat. So in this case, it is 3 milligrams of potassium hydroxide. And peroxide value is 1 milliequivalent per kg. And this does not change much because of as I said, because of the inherent qualities of turmeric. And the free fatty acid is 1.5. Usually, as a thumb rule, free fatty acid is acid value divided by 2 when it is oleic, palmitic, and stearic acids. If you have a lauric acid because of coconut oil, the division factor is 2.8. So in this case, no lauric acid, no coconut oil, so 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 free fatty acids. So difference between curcumol and generic turmeric powder, because there was some usage of turmeric powder there has been some usage, of course, in many parts of the country and other parts of the world as well, mostly in South Asia. So curcumol contains 6% curcumin. I'm talking of curcumin, but let's be very clear. We are not talking of 15 to 18% of, that's very vague. We don't know whether it is dimethoxycurcumin or whether it is bis-dimethoxycurcumin. Here we're talking of curcumin, true curcumin, right? So curcumol contains 6% curcumin compared to turmeric powder, which contains 1.5% curcumin. And curcumin is the active ingredient of turmeric botanical. Curcumol is a processed form of turmeric oil, fortified with curcumin and sesquiterpenes. And what is sesquiterpenes? Sesquiterpenes helps in absorption of turmeric into the system, because you know very well turmeric doesn't dissolve in moisture, doesn't dissolve in water. That's why right from our traditional knowledge, we take turmeric in milk, in warm milk. Why? Because turmeric in the presence of emulsifier, fat is an emulsifier. So in the presence of fat, in the presence of emulsifier, turmeric gets absorbed. So here we have added a natural ingredient called sesquiterpenes, which helps in absorption at home. So this is where we talk of pharmacokinetics in a product like curcumol. We are not just talking of a color agent. No, we are not a coloring agent. So there's a big difference. And turmeric powder may contain mycotoxins because it depends upon at what moisture level you have harvested the rhizomes of turmeric, and based on that, the drying would cause toxins in the product. Whereas curcumol is pure turmeric oil derived from solvent extraction process of turmeric rhizomes processed at very high temperature. Such high temperatures destroy the fungus. Therefore, there is no chance of mycotoxins in the product. Then you have an extra added energy level of 9,000 kilocalories per kg, whereas turmeric powder offers no such benefit because we don't know what is the calorific level of energy in the powder. Now, this is very interesting. We talk of curcumol compared to the crude extracts. Curcumol is a standardized formulation with curcumin and sesquiterpenes. Crude extract is a crude waste of turmeric extraction process. I mean, it's really a waste because that's just a residue. And again, I repeat, imparts color, unfortunately. And curcumol is a product of fractional distillation, and this does not apply to the crude extracts. There is no fractional distillation in crude extracts. Curcumol is devoid of heavy metals and microbial counts. We have, for every batch of curcumol, we have complete data analysis on all these parameters. And crude extracts contain heavy metals, E. coli, salmonella, micro. We don't know what all, but then yes, heavy metals would have the potential, is a potential source for all, because that's a residue, that's a crude waste. So it would contain all these, bad stuff. And curcumol has a low viscosity. It easily mixes with soya oil or any other oil because the viscosity of curcumol is in the range of 50 to 60 poise. Whereas the crude extracts, sometimes you have to burn it, you have to boil it, and you have to really, you have to mess up with the thing to, be able to use it in the feed. It is easily handleable. I mean, you can easily handle curcumol at feed mill level, and in crude extract difficult. We claim our product to be a FSSAI ready product, okay, which does not apply to crude extract. And we know the pharmaceutical activity of the actives in curcumol. And this is not, as I said, I repeat again, just a feed colorant. So curcumol is an invention. It's a discovery of Innovista, and our customers admire us, and so do our competitors. We have a line of people behind us who claim to be, comparing with us. So curcumol for all, that's what we say. So we move on to the next, we move to the trial reports. We have a small trial here with COP 430 broilers, 2 sheds of 5,000 birds each, unsexed with similar average body weight of the DOC, and treated flock contained curcumol at 500 ml per ton, control flock without curcumol, and no other changes. The rest of the things were all same, and they were unsexed birds. First of all, the color change, of course, we don't, I'm just saying we also give a color. And parameters studied were daily mortalities and causes, weekly weight gains, average daily gain and FCR, economic analysis of both groups, carcass yield and quality of carcass. So here you see that you get a weight gain of at 38 days of with an FCR of 1.51, an average weight of 2.68, and carcass yield of 1.87, excluding the giblets, 70%. There is an improvement of 5 points in the FCR in the curcumol group compared to the control group. So yeah, this is what Dr. Gautaman was talking about. We give a very nice shining appeal to the breast yield, to the breast meat. You can see the proper shine, good shining on the breast meat, and a yellowish tinge on the de-skinned carcass with very impressive marbling. That is what is the marbling, the shining effect that you get on the extra shine that you get on the breast muscle. Also, incidence of E. coli were minimized in those flocks, and antibacterial activity of curcumol, and 70% was the carcass yield, excluding the giblets. Okay, we come to, that was curcumol. We'll take up questions in the question and answer round, and then we move on to SB. SB is an essential oil blend to control respiratory disease. I'll take you quickly through these, things. The respiratory disease in poultry, you know them: CCRD, infectious bronchitis, coryza, laryngotracheitis, AI influenza, aspergillosis, and mostly tylosin, tiamolin, tilmycosin, chlortetracycline, enrofloxacins, and other quinolones are usually used for the treatment. I'm sure most of you know this. Nothing great and nothing new. Common symptoms in respiratory diseases, again, just a revision of what you guys all know: nasal discharge, sneezing, ocular discharge, swelling below the eyes, ruffled feathers, and in severe cases, increased respiratory rate and labored breathing even at rest. Further development may include serious air-sac lesions or pneumonia and death. So these are you can see these symptoms in very severe cases. You get those symptoms of, you can see the trachea is completely hemorrhagic and the tracheal rings are all damaged. In this case, you see the exudate in the trachea, which is something which you find in the AI. and similar science in CCRD and AI, and also with CC. Multiple. We call it respiratory disease complex (RDC). SB is a product which contains a combination of essential oils, cineol, methyl cavicol, menthol, thymol. It's a blend of several oils. There are three main advantages and features of this product, SB. It is a good decongestant. It shrinks the swollen membranes to ease respiratory functions. It is a good bronchodilator. It dilates the bronchi and bronchioles, decreasing resistance in the respiratory airway and increases airflow to the lungs. And it is a good expectorant, clears the nasal discharge from lungs, trachea, bronchi, and cleans air passages. So why SB? When you're actually treating a bird with an antibiotic, it definitely there is a time gap after the administration of an antibiotic when the product starts working. So it could be 72 hours, it could be 48 hours, depending upon the pharmacology of the drug that you administer. But what happens during that time? There are chances of higher mortalities because, number one, the symptoms are still there. The symptoms of what you saw, the exudate in the trachea, the tracheal hemorrhages, the dyspnea, the labored breathing. So all those symptoms are there. So the birds are dying because of the symptoms. So what you do with an SB is that you relax the bird. You know that you have already given an antibiotic. we are not claiming that it is going to replace an antibiotic in this case, particularly when you have those very, very severe symptoms. It can work as a preventive, but when you have those symptoms, it works as a secondary medication. So SB helps early recovery of the flocks. There is a quick relief from respiratory distress and prevents economic losses and prevents antibiotic overuse and abuse. So you're not going to use more antibiotics because the birds start recovering fast. So less morbidity and mortalities and and you reduce higher economic lotses. Then we come to a last product in our essential oil segment, Alivis. I'm not going to I've not given many slides on Alivis because this product has evolved, I would say. It has evolved in the sense that there has been, as I said, like turmeric, there has been a lot of usage of raw garlic in poultry. Raw garlic has been used for several reasons. It has been used in breeders for hatchability. It has been used in broilers many a times in different seasons, mainly in the winters. So we all know that garlic has got a very good antimicrobial effect, which was already discussed by Dr. Gautaman. It has a very good feed attractant effect. It improves feed intake in summers as well. It improves hatchability in breeders, as I mentioned. Improves meat flavor and lowers cholesterol, already taken by Dr. Gautaman in detail. No side effects, no residues, no resistance, and no cross-resistance with other in-feed ingredients. So these are the reasons why I use a garlic. And in our case, with Alivis, we have seen that apart from the basic advantages and the basic reasons what we know till now, we have heard from our customers saying that, we use your product Alivis and we have found A, B, C, D, advantages, which are over and above the advantages that we have been talking to them. Like some have told us that by using Alivis, there is no smell in the litter. And apart from that, there are less flies in the sheds. And because of which, there are no maggot infestations. So see, one thing leads to the other. So by giving, applying garlic in the feed, they have seen so many one advantage which leads to the other, right? And apart from that, we have used garlic in VVND cases also, wherein the mortalities have got reduced from in a particular region. I would say I'm not talking for farm or a flock or a shed. I'm talking for a region where the mortalities have gone down from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days during the 6 weeks of the administration of the product. The mortality had gone down from 27% to somewhere around 5-6%. This was in a particular region in some part of Bengal. So, and also we know that Alivis has got it improves hatchability breeders, and this is again a concentrated form of garlic. So when you know garlic, you have heard from Dr. Gautaman about its effect on the cholesterol, its effect on the villi and other things. So what I'm trying to tell you is that apart from that, we also have seen many other, reports coming from our customers, which have also surprised us. But then those things we have added in our discussions today. So we have Alivis also in a liquid form, and particularly, when you're using a liquid form in viral infections, it works as a very good disinfectant. And apart from that, as a regular preventive, we recommend Alivis in the feed. And of course, Alivis also has got very good, usage in the aquaculture, because particularly in aquaculture, since there are no antibiotics to be used, Alivis plays a major role there. And in viral cases of white gut disease in shrimps, it works extremely well. So I think I have come to a close. I have to close my session here. And excellent. It was very nice talking to you guys. And I think I have covered my 3 products. And thank you so much, all of you, for your patient listening. Dr. Shweta, if you can take over.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shekhar, for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, as we all know that India is a hub of essential oils, but there are very few pharma companies who uses the right technology to use this product. And the most important critical factor here is that in identifying that particular active substance from the raw material and then process it to make a finished product. So in that taking this particular advantage, I just want to discuss one of our very unique product in essential oils, which is Emerald. Emerald is a product from a Spanish company called as Igusol, and we are the distributors for Igusol for the Indian market. So this is a product which is a combination of 4 essential oils, cinnamaldehyde, thiamol, carbachol, and eugenol. And it is in the microencapsulation process, which makes it a very unique product. So because it is a microencapsulated product, the stability of the product is very good. It is almost up to 95%. It is stable after going through a temperature of 110 degrees centigrade. It has excellent dispersibility. It is an homogeneous mixture and the dispersibility rate is almost over 90%. It has excellent flowability. The particle size of the Emerald is very uniform. It ranges from 0.15 to 1 millimeter. So average, we can say that micro pearl size is 0.7 millimeter. And based on various studies, we have concluded that after pelleting or extrusion of this particular Emerald, each feed particle, it contains 5 grams of Emerald micropearls. So this Emerald is an intestinal health stimulant. It acts as an intestinal barrier to reduce various digestive disorders. It stimulates the immunity system. It improves the digestibility in the bird because less free nutrients are available to nourish the pathogenic bacteria, so there is less formation of the toxic metabolites. It stabilizes the beneficial microflora. Optimization of the feed conversion happens because any variation in the nutrient level of the raw material, that gap is basically filled up by the essential oils. So by improvement in digestion as well as absorption. So Emerald is a suitable product for all stages of the bird, and it can be mixed up into the compounded feed at the dose rate of 100 to 200 grams per ton of feed. So I think with all this, we have finished our presentations. And now I would like to take up all the questions over here. Okay, so our first question is from Dr. Sheikh Adil. He wants to know the method that how to add liquid essential oils to the diet. Hello?
Yeah, to whom is the question?
Yeah. So he is asking about the Curcumol exactly. that
Mm-hmm.
he want to know about the economics part of the Curcumol, that the cost of the essential products are pretty much high, and the people hesitate to use such products. And what are the method that a liquid product can be added into the diet?
Okay, great question. First of all, thank you so much for asking such a wonderful question. Okay, curcumol, first of all, is added in the feed. It is not added in the water, number one. It is added at the rate of 500 ml to 1 liter per ton of feed. 500 ml is sufficient actually, and it has to be added. Depends upon what kind of a feed milling unit you are. You are an automated feed plant or semi-automatic. Depends upon that. So we give our solutions based on that. We have installed dosage applicators with certain, I mean, with many feed millers, and depending upon your condition, your status, we give you a solution. But curcumol is not to be added in the it's a liquid, it's a oil, but to be added in the feed, not in the water. And economics part, yes, I mean to a certain extent, yes, what you said is not incorrect. I would agree with you that most of the essential oils are pretty expensive, no doubt about that. Essential oils are very expensive. Uh, but fortunately, that's not the case with curcumol. Curcumol is, it's, I would say, the world's cheapest essential oil, in the sense that nowhere close to the average pricing of essential oil, which is very cost prohibitive. When we talk of an essential oil in the range of let's say 200 rupees inclusion cost, or 250, 300 rupees inclusion cost, nothing like that. Curcumol is not even 50% of that in terms of per ton dosing. So we can talk about the figures, and I mean the precise costing based on, you can have my number, you can have Dr. Sood's number. Based on that, we can give you a solution. We can give you a solution on the pricing. We can give you a solution on the usage as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor. So, Dr. Gautaman, there is a question for you, that what is the efficacy of essential oil in ruminants with special reference to the ruminal microflora?
Strictly speaking, I don't have any experience on ruminants. So hopefully you should improve exploit the potential benefits of the good beneficial microflora as it proved in chicken. Hopefully it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor, there is one more question. What is the difference between phytochemicals and oleochemicals?
No, oleochemicals and phytochemicals, there is no exact difference. See that oleoresins are as a part of, we can say that the oleoresins are, we can, of garlic and turmeric has got a potential beneficial effect. So thereby we can claim them it is a phytochemicals, like that. There is no strict demarcation between the phytochemical or oleochemical. The oleochemical is other thing, they are derived from the plant extract, and it has got a phytobiotic effect. That's what.
Okay. So, more question, that both turmeric and garlic are considered to be hot food during traditionally. I mean, traditionally they are considered to be hot food. So, and
Yes.
they are consumed less in summers. So, can we use this product in summers also?
Yes, of
Turmeric
course.
and garlic.
See, that's what Dr. Sagar Basak has explained the advantage of the garlic and turmeric derivatives. So instead of using the raw products, if you use the derivatives, we can exploit the potential benefit of those products rather than using them in a raw form.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. Shekhar, there is a question regarding curcumol. It's regarding that curcumol mix evenly in the feed with normal feed manufacturing facilities, or we do need some special type of sprayer for that sake or anything?
Okay. Well, in today's traditional feed milling concepts, curcumol can go very well in the feed. I mean, whether it's as I said, whether it's unless it is hand mixing. I'm saying if it's such a primitive hand mixing thing, then it's difficult. I mean, you can't say that you can use curcumol. You want to use curcumol at a farm level. What I'm trying to say is that if they have a basic feed milling operations, then definitely they can do it. I mean, as I said, from a basic feed manufacturing even to an automated plant, curcumol can be used at every level. So there is, I mean, there should not be any problem at all in using the product. Can you repeat the question again? I don't know whether I missed on any point.
So its question is like, do we need some special sprayer in mixer to mix curcumol evenly in the feed, or it can be added directly to the batch mixer?
Yeah, it can go in the wet premixer, or it can go into batch mixing. It can go at any point depending upon your situation. You can if it's a I mean semi-automatic plant, you can put it in the wet premixer, and then I mean through the nozzle it gets sprayed into the system. So that should not be a problem at all. I mean, we have not faced any problem of mixing curcumol with any of our customers yet for the last I mean more than 6-7 years.
Okay, there is one more question regarding curcumol, that does curcumol impart orange color to egg yolk?
See, there are mixed opinions on that. We have received some feedback. Again, I would say it depends upon the ingredients in the feed also. There are certain ingredients in the feed definitely which contains carotenoids which can help in imparting the color, but curcumin per se is not fat soluble, is not soluble in the yolk. Doctor, I mean, if you can just also highlight on that. We haven't seen actually impartation of color in the yolk after using curcumol. Honestly, let me tell you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
In some cases,
but
some people have been saying, but I still would.
There are
I'm not very convinced.
two schools of thought. See, some researchers claim that it also imparts yolk color, and some of them they have not observed any defect. That is the true status.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. We have got both kind of
So,
feedback.
doctor,
I mean, if I have to,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so could you suggest that for how long it should be given so that egg yolk color can be there? It's a general question when we moved into the market, and we met many farmers and they asked general question. So do you have any guidelines for that?
It's not a question of how long you use it. It's a question of whether it is giving the color. If it is giving the color,
Yeah,
if
it
it
is
imparts
giving
the
the
color, it should
color.
happen. Yes, it
For
should
how long it
happen.
should be fed to have that color? It's something like that you have to feed for this much period of time, or to impart that color. If you say that color comes in some cases and in some cases it's not seen.
As I said, basically, we are not sure whether it imparts a color. In my opinion, it does not impart color. Let me be very. I mean, I don't want to take any chances in giving you making a wrong claim. I would never do that. In my career, I have never done that. I would not say that at all. If you have to take my opinion on the safer side, I would say that it does not impart color. But as I said, there are some views from customers who say that it imparts color. So I take that as their opinion. But we have no scientific validation of this. I have not found any scientific paper, any research paper which says that curcumin imparts color. Doctor, from the academic viewpoint, what do you say?
From academic point of view, I was referred a paper which claims that it improved the yellowishness of the yolk. There are only one paper, so again it to be validated. Like no,
I understand.
Again, yolk color is influenced by the other carotenoids. So depending upon your maize content, so that.
Exactly. I think that is what is more important.
Yes.
The maize content and the carotenoids content in the maize.
Yes.
Any more questions?
So there is one more question where it is basically from the dairy farmers side. Like dairy farmers, they have the habit to first soak the feed, and while soaking, the water color gets changed as per raw material. So what about the curcumol? Does this change color of the water when the feed containing curcumol will be soaked into the water?
It is an oil, first of all. It doesn't mix with the water.
Yeah, I think it's not a coloring agent, so it should
It is
not give
not.
any color while soaking into the water.
Yeah, it does not give any because first of all, it doesn't mix with the water. It's an oil. It's oil content. It is not water
Yeah,
miscible. We don't recommend curcumol for water medication. So it doesn't mix with water.
okay.
So it will not impart any different color to the oil, to the water.
Okay, so there is one more question. What is the exact role of garlic or turmeric in heat stress prevention? Dr. Gautaman?
Yeah, that's what, as I explained, that it improves the liver function and it reduces the fat content. So once the liver function improved and also the fat content also decreased, so the level of fat influences the heat stroke mortality. It increases the heat generation, thereby it leads to heat mortality. So once it is used, so naturally the fat content comes down and also liver function improves, thereby we can reduce the heat mortality.
Okay, doctor. So there is one more question for Curcumol, that can it be used in the treatment of gangrenous dermatitis or in the prevention, can we say?
Yes, it
Yes,
has
yes,
been
of
used
course.
actually. Yes, it has been used. I mean, feedback can come from Dr. Gautaman.
Yeah, of course. I used to prescribe, even when there was a high incidence of gangrenous dermatitis in every batch in a farm, in a biggest farm in Davanagere, the farmer could not get succeed with use of many antibiotics, and finally he came to know that he can meet some good doctors in Namakkal. So he came to meet another doctor in Namakkal, and incidentally I met him. Then while talking to him, just he said that no, gangrenous dermatitis is the biggest issue in his farm. Then I said, you can use garlic and turmeric. It has got very good action against gangrenous dermatitis. So, we used to get the cases, and I got some success. So I recommended him, and immediately he purchased garlic and turmeric from Namakkal, and he all the way he brought back to the Davanagere, and he used that. Then within a week he called me and he told the Doc Sahab, I have been struggling for gangrenous dermatitis for years, and within a week, this product helped me to get rid of this disease. Really, it has got very good effect on gangrenous dermatitis. We continuously use it, and we are getting good results. And even the farmers can use it as a preventive measures also. As a it has the feed with added with turmeric at the rate of 3 kg or other kind of curcumol, so helps to prevent the incidence of gangrenous dermatitis in layer flow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. There is a last question, doctor. So I think one of the doctor, they wants to understand the location of our manufacturing plants in India. So
Okay, we see one thing I should tell you. I mean, very important from our point of view. Uh, what is the USP? First of all, let us look at the USP of these products. First of all, again, I mean, coming back to the fact that we are getting into the mode, not now, but right from the inception of Innovista, we are trying to make things available or make it in India. The plants, I mean, for not only for Alovis or Curcumol, for all our products, we try to, either have some kind of application being done in India. For, I mean, Curcumol, we buy it from the world's largest. I mean, as I said, our manufacturing partners are basically GMP plus and FAMIQS certified. So they are the world's largest extraction company. They have the plants in many states. They have the plants in Karnataka. They have the plants in Tamil Nadu. They have the plants in Kerala. They have the plants in Andhra Pradesh, mostly in South. Also, they have offices in Canada. They have offices in US. They have offices in Japan. So they are worldwide. So that's the kind of the tie-up that we have. I mean, we are not getting our products from some crude extraction plants in Mathura or in Baddi or somewhere else. So that's not what we are doing. We are buying from the world's largest industry, and we consume their whole production we consume. I mean, that kind of a tie-up we have. We consume the whole production. And I repeat again, they're the world's largest.
Okay,
and we have a
thank you,
tie-up with
doctor.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shekhar. There is a last question from an anonymous attendee. It's regarding the micro-encapsulated essential oil. So yes, it is available with Vetina, and our office is based in Viman Nagar, Pune. And you can contact us, and we have that product available with us. And the product comes directly from the Spain. So I think it's all the questions have been done over here. And I thank you, Dr. Gauthaman, Dr. Shekhar, for a wonderful presentation, and all our attendees also, that they spared their time and they attended the webinar. So now I would like to invite our CEO, Mr. Prakash Khere, to have a vote of thanks.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
I thank all the participants for taking very active participation in this webinar. I was hearing all along the questions, and they were really very interesting. I thank Dr. Basak and Dr. Gautam for addressing all their concerns. We will continue this series of webinars for the purpose, the education of farmers and the veterinary profession as a part of our commitment for the knowledge enhancement in the industry. So we are also setting up a knowledge center wherein we will be inviting the foreign speakers, experts, to deliberate and interact with our veterinary professionals as well as farmers wherever required. So once again, thank you very much. And thank you, Shweta, for organizing a nice webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So that is the end of webinar, and we hope to again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to all.
Thank you very much.
And look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should we check out?
Yeah, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Bye bye, ma'am.